everything that the ADL stands for. It's actually like 5 things: fighting against anti-Semitism, extremism, protecting civil rights. They can all do that still. And actually, if they're getting rid of the ADL, like I said, is in tandem with what their administration has projected to do, then they could just be keeping fighting the anti-Semitism part and getting rid of everything else, and saying to their military personnel and their bureaucratic institutions that, oh, well, we're still fighting against anti-Semitism. They can still keep basically roughly the regulations of the ADL, right, essentially, and just say that they're getting rid of it, when really they're just getting rid of the name and the title of what the ADL does, but nothing effectively is going to change. So, I mean, it's just an optic, like I said. It's just an optic. Because clearly the administration that some of you voted for, this is not a dig. Well, it is, because I've never voted. So the administration that you voted for, they need your approval rating, especially for that MAGA base that's kind of insulating them so that they are enabled to continue their debauchery and their con artistry and their lying. And then, oh my God, if the government didn't just announce, right, that it was cutting ties with the ADL, which doesn't mean shit, because the ADL was mostly to fight against anti-Semitism, if that wasn't more apparent enough. Turning Point USA cuts ties with the ADL too. Do you see what's going on here? They're all in cahoots. So that Turning Point USA, they're all pundits for the fake Star of David Principality. They know that they're not looking good right now. So they have to do something that's optically, it's this playbook that they're using. It's old. It's not going to work. Okay? It's just trash. This playbook is awful. Do you see what's happening? Like, I'm asking the viewer, like, please, like, do you see this? They are clearly in cahoots, clearly on the same side. Clearly there's a principality that funnels both of them and makes them a beneficiary of donation. Clearly. Because they're both acting in tandem with the optics of gaining some sort of approval rating. Because obviously there's a lot of people who are MAGA who are starting to wake up. We need to call this a second awakening, because a lot of these MAGA people are literally waking up. I really don't think it's a lot of MAGA at this point that truly are MAGA. I think that MAGA base, it's like 12% of them are actually just still so staunch. And like, no, Trump is this and Trump is that. Now, I do think there's a lot of Republicans that voted for MAGA that are like just complicit within their vote for Trump. They're usually white or they're Asian. And they don't have like anything to really say, and except for we'll see what happens. And it's like, are you serious? That's why I feel like some of the people that I've talked to, they're actually just professional gaslighters walking around amongst people and trying to like gaslight the public. I think this is going a lot further than we ever could imagine. I think there's actual infiltration within just our day-to-day lives of us interacting with pundits and professional gaslighters paid to do our communities a disservice by gaslighting them. And that brings me further into my point that, like, especially when you go online on social media streets, these people act like, honestly, they're like Russian bots. And it could quite possibly be Russian bots with a bunch of MAGA idiots, no shade, and pundits. Like, What I'm saying is it possible to completely psyop a whole country using online bots, social media bots, and pundits at the capacity of like 8% of the population? I think that's what they're doing. I really don't think there's a lot of people that really support Trump. Like, there's still like this MAGA influence and a lot of people that are just staunch in that, but something's not adding up. I would say most people don't even care and they're not interested in politics, especially Alpha, Gen Z, and most millennials. Nobody gives a shit. And if you ask them generally what they think about what's happening in the war, if they voted for Trump, whether they're MAGA identified or not, they're usually give an answer like, oh, well, we'll see what he's going to do. I mean, da-da-da-da. They give him so much fucking leeway. They give him so much benefit of the doubt, which I don't think they would do if it was Barack Obama. I don't think they would do that if it was any other candidate. But because Trump says it like he means, it fills them with this emboldenment and entitlement to say whatever the fuck they want to say. And that's really what this is about. It's disgusting. And so it has me questioning, actually, honestly, what if this whole campaign and administration is doing everything that they could do based off of 12% of staunch MAGA and Republican voters, and the rest is just like social media bots and pundits that they pay to continue this contestment of the left versus right? Like, could they absolutely just, well, clearly not absolutely because they're having a hard time, but create this illusion of national dominance when really they really don't have it? I also think that this MAGA shit, this like Trump, there's like a real underground of like people who voted for Trump and are MAGA that affiliate themselves with all different types of bureaucratic institutions. Hell, I even think that they take volunteers for ICE. Like, as long as you have a gun license, a gun registration, and served or was a police officer or something like this, I really do think that they just take you in. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, you can be for ICE. But I do think that there's like this subversive underground channel of like a mass group text of like people trying to associate and be Trump's little henchmen. It's like pathetic. It's actually really pathetic. And it's all for this idea that you're going to have this like white, this Caucasian supremacist world. And Trump does not, and I've made a video about this, Trump does not give a flying fuck about your blonde hair, blue eyes. He doesn't. This is so much bigger than what you want. And Netanyahu is not going to just stop doing what he was doing in Gaza. He's not going to just stop. But he has to postpone. Like, they have to, play this. Hear what I'm saying? Play this. They have to play this right. And if they have to do this as politicians and shit like that, it's not good. Why do you want your politicians to be this way?